So the topic for this video is doctors and over-medicating. And this video will get no views whatsoever. But if you're a parent, you should totally watch this video. You know, not that I can tell you that if you're not already watching it. And if you are already watching it, then why even point out like you're already here? Ooh. And yeah, so what I wanted to say was that I'm you know, I prefer that when my son gets sick, he just heals himself naturally, you know. Like the world is becoming more and more and more into medicine, and believe it or not, Asia, which has Asian medicine and herbal medicine and all that, is oddly enough one of the most heavily over-medicated countries in the planet. Like, I know because every single time a child gets a cold, a perfectly normal cold, the parents take him to the doctor and get fucking bucket loads of medicine, which makes no sense whatsoever, as there's no cure for the common cold. So they're just getting a bunch of like different medicines to like help alleviate his symptoms, maybe. I don't know, but it's just a little cold, you know, like, jeez. So, what's going on? Come on, buddy. Oh, come on, let me in. So, yeah, so then my son, he's fairly healthy. He's had a cold once, and he had a sinus infection once. What a sinus infection is pretty much just a runny nose. But you get the odd one. They're normally viral, but sometimes they're caused by like an actual bacterial infection. In which case, it might be a good idea to get some antibiotics. The viral ones aren't affected by antibiotics, but the bacterial ones are. So yeah. So for like when my son had his cold, we took him to the doctor and he gave us all this medicine, and I'm just like, because it was a pretty bad cold. He was having a lot of trouble breathing because babies, they can't blow their own nose, so it makes it difficult for them to sleep when they get a stuffed nose. So we took him to the doctor. He gave us a bunch of medicine, none of which we used. Okay, that's no big deal. It's kind of normal here. And then for a sinus infection, we took him to the doctor, and the doctor, it was funny. My wife took him to the doctor. I didn't really think he needed to yet, but she took him. And then the doctor, she specifically told the doctor, we dislike using medicines. If he can get better on his own, then just say so. Don't give us a bunch of medicines we don't need. And he said to her, if you don't give him these antibiotics, the infection will just get worse and worse, and it'll spread from his nose to his ears, to his eyes, to his brain, etc. He can get a fever. It could become very serious. And this is all possible. Like, the stuff that he is saying is true. It is possible. You can get a nose infection that can spread to the brain with giving you a fever, or it can spread to the eyes and whatnot. This is true. But he said it, that, like, if you do not give him these medicines, it will just worsen. He has to take these, because she says we dislike giving medicine, we'd rather not. He's like, well, you don't have a choice, because if you don't give him this, it'll just get worse and worse. And of course, we did not give him the medicine at all, and like, what, 3 days later he was fine or something, like, you know. And it's just a fucking joke, because if it was a bacterial infection, even with bacterial infections, the body can still heal itself. You know, you don't just get an infection and then die, you know, if it's untreated. The body can still heal itself. And if the body heals itself, then generally you're immune to that problem for, like, you know, possibly the rest of your life. But if you take antibiotics, then the antibiotics kill off the sickness really quickly. Like, it only takes like a day or two. But you develop no immunity. So, you know, if we had listened to the doctor, yeah, and given him the medicine, yeah, he would have cleared, instead of taking 3 days to clear up, he would have cleared up in 2. But then he would also have not developed an immunity, and chances are, like, 6 months down the line, he would get another sinus infection.